You're too clingy. My fiancé thinks it's embarrassing. That's what my best friend said when I asked why I wasn't invited to her engagement party. My name is Emma Torres. I'm 32. And in one sentence, 18 years of friendship shattered like cheap glass. I didn't hear it from her directly. I saw it on her Instagram story. A rooftop bar in downtown Austin. Champagne towers catching sunset light. Her hand stretched out showing off a ring the size of my monthly rent. The caption said, "She said yes. Celebrating with my real ones." I was sitting in my car outside the courthouse, paralegal files stacked on my passenger seat, when my phone lit up. At first, I thought the invitation got lost. Then I scrolled through the tagged faces. Co-workers she'd known for 6 months. A yoga instructor she'd mentioned twice. Her fiancé's college friends she'd met 3 weeks ago. Everyone but me. That's when I understood. I wasn't forgotten. I was erased. Before we go on, tell me where you're watching from right now. A quiet apartment, your lunch break in a parked car, or a moment you stole from a day that won't stop demanding. You're listening to Charlize Warren, and this is where the story starts telling itself. When Sarah Mitchell's dad died of a heart attack our sophomore year of high school, I became more than her best friend. I became her anchor. Her mom worked double shifts at the hospital and couldn't cover everything. I started small, packed an extra lunch, split my allowance, made sure Sarah had what she needed for class photos, yearbook fees, prom tickets. When college came, I stayed local. Got my paralegal certificate while Sarah went to UT Austin for event planning. She called me crying every other week about tuition, books, rent deposits she couldn't make. I worked overtime at the law firm, took extra weekend shifts doing document review, whatever paid. I learned the taste of gas station coffee at 2 a.m., the weight of sleeping 4 hours a night, the math of stretching a paycheck across 2 lives. When Sarah graduated and started her wedding planning business, she needed capital. I co-signed the commercial lease on her office space in the warehouse district. $280,000 loan. The property manager barely looked at her credit score. They looked at mine. Clean, stable, reliable. That's what 18 years of sacrifice builds. A Signature Bank's trust. Sarah promised she'd refinance in my name, out within 2 years once the business took off. That was 4 years ago. The lease still shows Emma Torres, primary guarantor. I also lent her $45,000 in cash. Wedding expos, vendor deposits, website development, marketing campaigns. She kept spreadsheets at first, promised to pay me back monthly. Those payments lasted 6 months before the excuses started. The business needs it more right now. I'll catch up next quarter. You know I'm good for it. I told myself this was investment. That loyalty compounds. I opened a savings account anyway. Called it the Emma Fund. $200 every paycheck. No matter what. Something just for me. Then Marcus entered her life. Investment banker, family money, the kind of guy who wore watches worth more than my car. Sarah started posting differently. Designer bags, Michelin star restaurants, weekend trips to Napa. Her captions changed too. Living my best life. Finally getting what I deserve. No more struggling. I noticed she stopped calling. Stopped texting first. When I reached out, responses came hours later. One word. Emoji. Seen. The language shifted. Our friendship became my dependence. My support became my neediness. Sarah started saying it at brunch, the few times she still showed up. You worry too much. You're too involved. Marcus says healthy people don't need constant validation. I told myself this was growing pains. That success changes people temporarily. That 18 years meant something that couldn't be deleted by a new tax bracket. I was wrong. The engagement party happened on a Saturday night. I found out Sunday morning, mid-scroll through Instagram, coffee going cold in my hand. The rooftop at the Fairmont, string lights and a live band. Marcus down on one knee, everyone's phones out capturing the moment. Professional photographer in the corner. Sarah in a white cocktail dress, hand over her mouth, crying those pretty tears that don't mess up makeup. I refreshed the app, checked her story again, watched her pan across the crowd of smiling faces. Not one of them was me. I opened our text thread. Last message was from me, 3 weeks ago. Asked if she wanted to grab coffee. She'd left me on red. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Voicemail. On the 5th try, I texted. Congratulations. I saw the news. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then nothing. An hour later, Marcus texted me from Sarah's phone. Emma, Sarah's overwhelmed with responses right now. She'll reach out when things calm down. I stared at that message. The distance in it. The dismissal. I typed back. Can I talk to her? Just for a minute? The 3 dots took forever. She's resting. Yesterday was a lot. That's when I called the office number. The one listed on her business website. Sarah answered on the second ring, voice bright and professional. Blissful Moments Wedding Planning. This is Sarah. She didn't know it was me. It's Emma, I said, silence stretched out like a wire pulling tight. Oh. Her voice flattened. What do you need? Not how are you? Not I'm sorry. What do you need? Like I was a client. Like I was anyone. I saw you got engaged, I said. Congratulations, thanks. I guess my invitation got lost. She exhaled, long and frustrated. Emma, don't do this. Don't do what? Ask why my best friend of 18 years didn't tell me she was getting engaged? You're proving exactly why I didn't tell you, she said. This guilt trip, this making everything about you. I felt something crack inside my chest. I co-signed your lease, I said quietly. I gave you $45,000. And you've never let me forget it, she shot back. Every conversation, you find a way to remind me what you've done. Marcus thinks it's unhealthy. He thinks you're too clingy. It's embarrassing. Clingy, embarrassing. I sat there holding those words like broken glass. So that's it? I asked. 18 years? And I'm embarrassing? You can't let people grow, Emma. You want everyone to stay where they were. Struggling. Needing you. Marcus says it's a control thing. Marcus says, I repeated. A guy you've known for 8 months is diagnosing our friendship? He sees things clearly, she said. He's not emotionally tangled up in the past. I wanted to ask if the past included every meal I bought her, every time I drove her to the airport at 5 a.m., every late-night phone call when she sobbed about her dad. I wanted to itemize 18 years of showing up. Instead, I asked one question. Do you want me in your life? She hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. I want healthy boundaries, she finally said. I want friendships that don't feel like debt. The call ended. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just silence that filled up every space we used to share. The next days blurred together. I showed up at the law firm, filed documents, smiled when attorneys asked how I was doing. At night, I sat at my kitchen table pulling up files. The lease agreement, the loan paperwork, bank statements showing transfers. Everything in black and white. Sarah's business address, listed under my name, her monthly expenses, guaranteed by my credit, text messages where she promised repayment. I'd saved everything, not because I thought I'd need it, because I thought we were building something together. I lay awake counting. $280,000 lease liability, $45,000 cash loan, 4 years of monthly payments I could have put toward my own future. A house, retirement, a life that wasn't measured by someone else's dreams. That's when it settled. Sarah didn't need a friend. She needed a financial safety net she could ignore while climbing higher. As long as I kept guaranteeing her lease, kept letting the debt sit unpaid, she never had to choose between Marcus's world and mine. She could have both. My credit backing her business, his money elevating her lifestyle, and I'd stay in the background, holding the risk while she collected the rewards. If this were your friend, what would you do? Comment 1 if you'd forgive and move on. Comment 2 if you'd take back what's yours. I couldn't leave it at a phone call that ended in static. That Thursday, I left work early, drove across town to the warehouse district. Sarah's office sat on the ground floor of a converted factory. Glass front, her logo in gold leaf, blissful moments in script that probably cost more than I made in a month. I parked and sat for a moment, hands tight on the steering wheel. Then I walked in. Sarah stood behind the reception desk, talking to a bride and groom. She looked up, saw me, and her face went carefully blank. Emma. She said my name like it tasted wrong. What are you doing here? We need to talk, I said. I'm with clients right now. I can wait. The couple glanced between us, sensing tension. Marcus appeared from the back office. Expensive suit, fake smile. Emma. What a surprise. I need to talk to Sarah, I said. Anything you need to say, he replied. You can say in front of me. I looked at her. She wouldn't meet my eyes. You co-signed my lease, I said to Sarah. Actually, I co-signed yours. Semantics, Marcus said. We appreciate what you did, but I'm not talking to you. I cut him off. Sarah finally looked at me. What do you want? I want to know if you're planning to pay back the $45,000 you owe me. The couple's eyes went wide. Sarah's face flushed red. Can we not do this here? You wouldn't answer my calls, I said. So I'm here. Marcus pulled out his phone. You need to leave. You're harassing us at our place of business. This place of business exists because I signed my name on the line, I said. My voice came out steady, calm. Every invoice you send, every wedding you plan, sits on a foundation I'm legally responsible for. You offered, Sarah said. I never asked you to. You cried on my couch for 3 hours about how you'd lose everything if you couldn't get the lease, I said. I held your hand while you signed the paperwork. Marcus stepped closer. Phone up. Camera recording. You're being aggressive right now. A few people in the co-working space next door had stopped to watch through the glass. One had their phone out too. This is what you do, Marcus said. You create scenes. You manipulate through guilt. Sarah's told me everything. Everything? I asked. Did she tell you about the time I drove 8 hours round trip to bring her home from college when her mom was in the hospital? Did she tell you about the graduation gift money I gave her when her dad's life insurance ran out? Did she tell you I've carried her financial risk for 4 years while she posted pictures of $300 brunches? Sarah's hands shook. You're making me sound like a terrible person. I'm making you sound like someone who forgot where they came from, I said. Marcus smirked. See? Control. You can't handle that Sarah's successful now, that she doesn't need you anymore. She's successful on my credit, I said. That's not independence. That's transfer of risk. The door opened. Another bride walked in for an appointment, took one look at the scene, and backed out slowly. Sarah's face went pale. You're ruining my business. No, I said. I'm asking for basic accountability. Pay me back, or refinance the lease in your name. We can't refinance right now, Marcus said. Market conditions. Then sell the business, I said. Or pay me back in installments. But I'm done being your silent investor. Sarah's voice cracked. I thought you cared about me. I did, I said. I do. But caring doesn't mean setting myself on fire to keep you warm. She started crying. Not the pretty Instagram tears. Real ones. Messy and desperate. After everything we've been through was me showing up, I said. And you've shown me exactly how much that's worth. I turned to leave. Marcus called after me. You're going to regret this. We have lawyers. I looked back at him. So do I. I work for 12 of them. That night, I didn't cry. I went home, took off my shoes, poured a glass of wine I'd been saving, opened my laptop at the kitchen table, created a new document, financial recovery plan. Line 1, consult attorney about lease liability. Line 2, file small claims for loan repayment. Line 3, document all communication. Line 4, prepare for credit impact if she defaults. I called my supervising attorney, Rebecca, the one who'd mentored me for 6 years. She answered on the second ring. Everything okay, Emma? Legal question, I said. If I co-signed a commercial lease and want out, what are my options? She was quiet for a moment. Is this about Sarah? I should have known she'd guess. Yes. How much are you on the hook for? I told her. All of it. The numbers, the timeline, the unpaid loan. Jesus, Emma, she said. Why didn't you come to me sooner? I thought friendship meant something. Friendship doesn't supersede contract law, she said. You're primarily liable if she defaults. Your credit, your assets, your problem. My chest felt tight. Can I get out? You can try to negotiate a release, but she'd have to qualify independently. And if her business is as successful as she claims, banks will want to see 2 years of solid profit. If not, you're stuck until the lease ends. That's 3 more years, I said. Unless she sells or transfers, Rebecca said. But she has no incentive to do that if you're carrying the risk. What about the loan? Small claims maxes out at $20,000 in Texas. You'd have to sue in civil court for the full amount. Do you have documentation? Everything, I said. Texts, bank transfers, her signature on a promissory note. Then you have a case, Rebecca said. It'll be messy. It'll cost you. But you'll probably win. After we hung up, I opened a new tab. Found a civil litigation attorney who did free consultations. Sent an email with attachments. Copies of everything. Within an hour, I had a response. Strong case. Let's talk Monday. I spent the weekend building my exit strategy. Called the property management company. Asked about lease transfer procedures. They sent me a 30-page document. I read every word. Highlighted every clause that mattered. Took notes in margins. Then I drafted an email to Sarah. Professional. Clean. No emotion. Sarah, I'm formally requesting you refinance the commercial lease at address to remove my name as guarantor within 90 days, per Section 12.3 of our agreement. I'm also requesting a payment plan for the $45,000 outstanding loan, with first payment due within 30 days. If you're unable to meet these terms, I'll have no choice but to pursue legal remedies. Please confirm receipt. Emma. I didn't send it yet. I wanted her to have one more weekend thinking everything was fine, that she'd gotten away with it, that I'd just disappear quietly, the way people do when they're too tired to fight. Monday morning, I sent the email at 8 a.m. By 8:30, my phone was ringing. Marcus. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. This is ridiculous. You can't threaten us like this. We'll countersue for harassment. I forwarded the voicemail to my attorney. She laughed. He has no idea what he's talking about. Let him hire a lawyer. It'll be fun. By noon, Sarah texted. Not from her phone. From a number I didn't recognize. Emma, please. We can work this out. Don't do this. I replied with one line. Pay me back or refinance. Those are your options, she called. I declined. She called again. Declined. Then Marcus texted from his phone. You're going to destroy her business over money? That's pathetic. I didn't respond. I'd learned that silence speaks louder than defending yourself to people who've already decided you're the villain. 3 months passed. My attorney filed the civil suit. Sarah's attorney tried to argue the loan was a gift. We had her signature on a promissory note, text messages where she promised repayment, bank statements showing structured transfers, not gifts. The judge wasn't impressed with her defense. We won a judgment for $45,000 plus court costs and interest. Payment plan, $1,500 a month for 30 months. The lease was harder. Sarah couldn't qualify for refinancing independently. Her business had good revenue but inconsistent profit margins. The bank wanted me to stay on. I refused. Told the property manager I'd accept early termination penalties if it meant getting out. They offered a deal. I could pay 3 months' rent as a buyout. Of $15,000. It hurt. But it hurt less than 3 more years of liability. I paid it. Drained my Emma fund. Every dollar I'd saved for myself, gone. But my name came off that lease. I got the letter in the mail. Official release of liability. I framed it. Sarah had to move her business to a smaller space she could afford on her own. Her Instagram posts changed. Less champagne, more hustling. Marcus stopped appearing in photos after month 4. Then he disappeared entirely. I heard through mutual friends that the engagement ended. Something about his family not approving, but everyone knew the truth. When the money got complicated, he got gone. 6 months after the judgment, I was at a coffee shop near my apartment when Sarah walked in. She didn't see me at first. She looked tired. Hair in a ponytail, no makeup, yoga pants, and an oversized sweater. She ordered a regular coffee. Not the oat milk latte with extra foam she used to Instagram. When she turned to wait, our eyes met. She froze. I lifted my cup slightly, acknowledged her, didn't smile. She walked over slowly. Hey, I said. We stood there, this canyon of unsaid things between us. I've been wanting to call you, she said, but I didn't know if you'd answer. Probably not, I said. She flinched. I messed up. I know that now. I don't want to hear about Marcus, I said. Okay. She twisted her hands together. I've been paying your judgment. Every month. I know. My attorney sends me confirmations. I wanted you to know I'm trying. To make it right. I looked at her. Really looked. The girl I'd shared secrets with in middle school. The one I'd held when her dad died. The woman who'd called me embarrassing in front of a man she barely knew. Sarah, paying a court-ordered judgment isn't making it right, I said. It's meeting a legal obligation. Her eyes filled with tears. I lost everything. The business is barely surviving. Marcus is gone. All our friends took his side. I'm alone. Old instinct reached for her. Wanted to say it's okay. We'll figure it out. Come here. I kept my hands wrapped around my coffee cup. I'm sorry you're struggling, I said. But I can't be your safety net anymore. I'm not asking you to, she said quickly. I miss you. I miss us. There is no us, I said. There's you, paying back what you owe. That's the only relationship we have now. That's so cold. That's honest. She wiped her eyes. Can we get coffee sometime? Just talk? No, I said. Why not? Because you didn't want me when things were good, I said. You don't get me now that they're bad. That's not friendship. That's convenience. I made a mistake. You made a choice, I corrected. You chose a man who's gone now over a friend who'd been there for 18 years. You chose to call me clingy instead of grateful. You chose to protect your embarrassment over protecting what we had. Those weren't mistakes. Those were choices. She stood there, tears streaming down her face. Mascara she'd probably applied that morning tracking down her cheeks. I was wrong about you, she said. You do hold grudges. No, I said. I hold boundaries. There's a difference. I picked up my coffee, walked past her to the door. She called after me. Emma, wait, I didn't turn around, didn't look back, just kept walking to my car, got in, drove home. When I got to my apartment, I sat in silence for a while. Thought about the girl I was at 14, packing extra lunches. The woman I was at 32, paying $15,000 to buy my freedom. Somewhere along the way, I'd learned that sacrifice doesn't make you family. It makes you available. And being available isn't the same as being valued. I opened my laptop, checked my bank account. The Emma fund was gone, but I'd started rebuilding it. $200 every paycheck. This time, not for emergencies. For me. A trip I'd always wanted to take. A class I'd been putting off. A life that didn't measure itself by what I could give away. These days, my world is smaller, but it's mine. Morning runs along the lake. Evenings reading books I've been meaning to get to. Friendships that don't require receipts. I think about Sarah sometimes. Hope she's okay. Hope she's learning the same lessons I had to. But I don't check her Instagram. Don't wonder what she's doing. Don't measure my worth by whether she's figured out hers. The payments come every month. $1,500. For 30 months total. I don't acknowledge them beyond confirming receipt. This isn't a relationship. It's a transaction. And when month 30 clears, when that final payment hits my account, we'll be even on paper. In reality, we've been even since the day I walked out of that coffee shop. Since the day I stopped abandoning myself to hold space for someone who'd already let me go. If this story resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe. Charlize Warren brings you more stories about finding your worth when someone else throws it away.